Hey, thanks for taking the time to fill out that survey. Now, based on the answers you provided and the farmers and rural property owners we've worked with in similar circumstances, building thousands of sheds successfully for over 60 years, since 1952, your number one shed buying struggle is something I call having new shed design discomfort syndrome. What is that exactly? Well, before I explain what that is, let's talk about the few reasons why most farmers or rural property owners who need help with their new shed design and its layout tend to struggle so much to get past this sticking point. Whether you're unsure about the best type of shed to build, what size you need, the best layout for your specific purposes, like what open sections or types of doors best suit your needs, and or even where to best put your new shed on your farm, the reason why most farmers or rural property owners struggle with the answers to these questions is because most shed companies would prefer to just sell you a shed they currently have in stock, rather than spend quality time identifying your personal needs and exact requirements. And if you're like the many farmers I work with, then you're probably aware that while a quick sale might be the target of most shed retailers, failing to get the right advice you need that covers all your bases can be a grave mistake when buying a new shed. Like, for example, choosing the wrong type of shed because you didn't know what was available to you and you didn't understand when one type of shed structure was better or better value than another. Not getting any help with planning the best size shed for you, with no discussion to help you understand where the best value for money is while still achieving your current and future needs. Where the size you choose ends up being just a tad too small and then you can't fit the very piece of new farm machinery you built the shed for, or the height clearances are too low to allow for proper entry. These things limit what you can take in and out of your shed, causing you to double up on travel time on your tractor or machinery. This can be a real nuisance that kills your productivity throughout the day, which when added up over the course of a month or a year becomes a catastrophic time delay. Can you imagine building a 2-car garage specifically to park a 30-foot boat? Yes, although the width may be correct on completion, you're unable to close the roller door because the length is too short for the boat. Yes, believe it or not, we've seen this happen before with sheds, leaving farmers no option but to park one of their machines outside after miscalculating exactly how much room was needed for grain, machinery, and other storage. And then there is no conversation or help for you to plan the overall layout of your shed, where you later realise that the shed you bought has the wrong doorways or openings for the kind of work you do. Although mistakes like these may seem too obvious to avoid, these kinds of errors are very common with farm sheds because there are so many little things that just aren't taken into account and no one helps you, like not properly considering the open sections you need in the planning phase. Getting the open sections incorrect means you'll be less efficient when entering and exiting the shed, adding another delay and productivity killer. Or how about the inside of your shed? You're unique. You do things differently than everyone else. For example, considering the proximity of other sheds and buildings, yards, roadways and thoroughfares that you'll need to be working around may affect where the doorways or openings will work best. Wanting a drive-through section for your largest multi-implement and tractor combinations so you don't have to reverse an awkward 2 or 3 piece combination or detach them from each other before storing. This may save you an enormous amount of time and frustration. And parking your machinery on the right side of your shed instead of the left might make you feel disoriented or uncoordinated. Whereas planning your shed the way you work best would have otherwise increased your workflow and labour dynamics. And talk about dynamics. Your farm has dynamics too. Where exactly should your new shed go on your property? This is a big one we encounter all the time. Erecting your shed on the wrong side of your farm or in the wrong area is something you cannot change, not without going broke in the process anyway. You need to consider wind direction, rain, sun position, proximity to other relevant farm buildings, access points or work areas, ground terrain, so you don't end up with unnecessarily expensive earthworks or extra costs for digging into solid rock, and so many more important factors. All of these possible issues can happen to you, and more, by not seeking the right kind of help and support from an experienced shed company. Help and assistance that could have otherwise saved you unnecessary heartache and pain. You see, the problem is that most shed retailers nowadays would prefer to just sell you a kit and hope you've already taken care of all the pre-buying credentials. Maybe these so-called professional shed companies expect you to have already done most of your own homework to find out what kind of shed you need, including the size, design and layout, etc. Or it could be that they don't want to be accountable for anything you might not be happy with after you erect your shed, causing them to shun away from offering you proper advice and useful suggestions, and leaving all the important decision-making in your hands so you could never implicate them later. After all, it's not uncommon to hear the following words: "It's your farm and your shed and your responsibility, not ours." Well, although that might be true to a point, you're not a shed expert, and you shouldn't be expected to know the answers to all these different shed questions and pre-building queries. Look, there are a few elements you need clarity on when choosing your new shed, which we'll go into in a moment. But first, know this. There's a world of difference between choosing a high-quality shed that suits your exact requirements versus guessing your way through your next shed purchase. No matter what the case, getting the right kind of help and assistance you need before choosing your shed is as important as every other part of the shed buying process and should be treated that way. So, what's the solution? The solution is to choose a professional shed company that thoroughly understands the options available for what you're trying to achieve. This is so you only buy a shed that matches your individual requirements and exact farming needs. Let me ask you this. If you really wanted the best outdoor clothing to keep you warm and dry in the rain and harsh windy weather, would you buy a non-protective frail jacket that easily lets in water through the seams and makes you cold? Of course not. Rather, you'd walk into a good reputable retailer like R.M. Williams or Dryserbone that you know will provide you with high-quality outdoor clothing that lasts. It's the same with buying sheds. Buy the right one for you and the purpose you need it for. And that's why, in my opinion, you need and deserve the right kind of help when choosing and erecting a high-quality shed that lasts you many seasons and years to come. With all that said, I know it's not easy lining up all your shed building requirements, because other than what you can think of right at this moment, there's an equal number of other important factors that will arise later after your shed is built. Now, here's the good news. While you may not be an expert at choosing the right shed for you, we are. It's what we do all day, every day. It's our passion. That's why we've decided to share the answer to this problem we call the New Shed Design Discomfort Syndrome. Basically, it's our way of cutting the pain and difficulty out of all your pre-buying and pre-building shed selection mission, and providing you with all the help, support and assistance you need with size, layout, design and anything else that will help you buy and build a shed specific to you and your farming needs. We'll make sure no stone is left unturned by providing you with all the comfort you need before making any buying decision. So you go from your new shed design discomfort syndrome to new shed planning, comfort and satisfaction. And it gets even better. You're watching this video at the best time ever, because for the next 30 days only, we're also offering a whopping double bonus offer, valued at up to $4,200 on any shed purchase you buy from Grant Sheds. This is a real off-the-shelf value of up to $4,200 that includes free delivery, valued at $500, plus a free strength upgrade of the wall cladding to an even stronger specification, valued at up to $3,700. To discover how to take advantage of our friendly pre-buying help and guidance service and claim your amazing $4,200 double bonus offer, simply click on the button below now.